Bonjour, fellow travelers. Hi, this is Mark from Wolters World, and we're in Montreal, Canada, a really cool city, great nightlife, some cool museums, really a good joie de vivre here in North America, well worth checking out. And today what we have for you are the top 10 things to see and do when you come to Montreal. And there are a lot more than 10 things to do here. We're just giving you enough, so if you're gonna come for a weekend, you got, the main things you should check out. So let's get started. The first thing you should do when you come to Montreal is go to Old Montreal, or Vieux Montreal. And what you do is just walk around there. You have some really fantastic architecture from the 19th and 18th century. You have, really great churches, the Basilica of Notre, which I'll talk about later. You can go check out that. You can see the cathedral. What's really cool is when you walk around, you can see the old town hall. There's a really kind of cool square, or I guess they call it, a place, Place Jacques Cartier. And what you can do there is it's really cool for people watching and apparently Portuguese food eating. There's a lot of Portuguese and Brazilian places there. But it's really cool architecture. Right by there you have the Marché Bon Secours to do your shopping and things like that for your souvenirs and kind of boutique stuff. And just wandering around Old Montreal is really cool because you have some of the old world feel. You get a little European feel there. But if you were in a real European feeling town, that's Quebec. Here it's more of a cosmopolitan city that's integrated their history with their present, and Old Montreal has a lot of that. You have some early 20th century skyscrapers that are here that are extremely neat to check out, all kinds of stuff. But just wandering through Old Montreal and enjoying that area, that's the first thing you really should do when you're here. And also you can go to the old port that's there. You can take a ferry over to the islands, for some more fun and stuff, the casino and the amusement park and stuff like that, all kinds of stuff. Now, the second thing you should do when you're here is when you're doing that wandering, you actually should go to the Basilica of Notre of Montreal. Inside, really cool, stained glass, but also inside you go in this amazing altar piece and all kinds of stuff. Really cool to walk in. Yes, you do have to pay to go in, but it is well worth it, so definitely want to check that out. At night, they have a light show in there for you to see as well, so it is kind of a cool thing to check out. So if you're going to go into one church or one, non-museum, that's the thing you should do when you are here. That's why it's number 2 on our list. The third thing you should do when you're in Montreal is eat well. Yes, I'm a husky guy and I love my food. In Montreal, oh my God. They brought a lot of the French culture and language and all this stuff here, but they also love the joy of cuisine. It's not food here, it's cuisine, and it's fantastic. Yes, it is pricey, and I talk about the expensive nature of Montreal in my 5 Love and Hates of Montreal video, but the food here is amazing. And go around, and what's cool is it's a very multicultural city, so you can eat Brazilian or Portuguese, or go to Little Italy and go check out food there. Go to Chinatown and have Chinese or Asian food. I mean, it's really fantastic, and eating here is really a wonderful thing to do because they have such great variety and quality of food here. Number 4 on our list is going to the Fine Arts Museum, the Museum of Fine Arts, or the Musée des Beaux-Arts, which has a really good collection of contemporary artists as well as some of the old masters you can check out. And you don't have a lot of museums that have a good collection from Europe and from the old masters in North America. This is why this one is actually very good, because it has a really good collection for you to see that. So that's your first museum you should check out. The 5th thing you can do is you can go to the Biodome. Let's get some nature in. See, we're getting all kinds of stuff. History, religion, art. Now we're getting nature with the Biodome. You go there, they have 4 different ecosystems there. There's a tropical forest, so you get to see that, which is really great when it's, minus 20 degrees here in Montreal in the winter. You have the polar, the polar experience one they have. There's also one for the St. Lawrence Seaway or Waterway. You can see how that is. Also, they have one that's based for like kind of a North American forest feel, so you can get kind of a feel of the ecosystem outside the cities here. It is kind of a cool thing to do. The 6th thing you should do when you're here is enjoy the multicultural aspect of Montreal. Yes, this is Quebec, so French is everywhere, but the thing is, you don't need to speak French when you're here. Everyone speaks English and French and 2 or 3 other languages, even the bums on the street. And you see that in this multicultural nature. I talked about eating in Chinatown and going to Little Italy. One of the things about Canada is they don't make it a melting pot. They celebrate the different cultures, and this is probably the best city to go and celebrate those different cultures because you can see all of them out there. The shops are like they are back in the day, and back in how they are back in Italy, back in China, and these kind of things. I mean, We were in Chinatown last night, and my 7-year-old is, Dad, this is just like it was in Beijing. I'm like, well, yes, some of the things are very similar. And you get that multicultural feel here. And what's cool is you can go, it's not just restaurants, it's also the culture and the way that people act and the people work and stuff like that. You do have that here, so it is kind of cool, you know? And thinking with the multicultural side of it, and I guess I'll put some more culture in there, is you also have a lot of students that are here. There's like McGill University and the University of Montreal, and they have this good joy of life, joie de vivre here in Montreal from the students, from the different cultures, and they all mix really well together, and it's kind of cool. So make sure you get a chance to go and explore some of those things. The 7th thing to check out is Museum of Archaeology and History. This one looks at a very modern building. It's down towards the riverfront, but what's cool is it looks totally modern, but inside you really get a good history of Montreal and of the area, which helps you appreciate more why the city isn't just an old town, but a thriving city of 3.5 million people. It is really cool to find out how things developed here. Now the next thing you could do is, what you're going to do is you're going to see on these postcards this weird like tower-like thing next to a statue. That's the Olympic Stadium. Go out to the Olympic Stadium. You can go up that little spire kind of thing there, that tower there, the Olympic Tower, for a cool view. But what's neat is there's all kinds of things to do out there. You've got the insectarium, so if you want to see the insects and stuff like that. You've got the botanical gardens, and just taking in the architecture there, it is kind of a cool district to check out. And since the Olympics in '76 basically bankrupted the city, why don't we go and help out the city to, you know, get back on its feet from that blunder back in the '70s, okay? But it is cool with the stuff that's out there at the Olympic Stadium. The 9th thing you should do when you come here is come for a festival. Montreal is chock full of festivals. There's tons of them. Probably the 2 most famous ones are the Montreal Jazz Festival, which is cool. Also, they have Just for Laughs, which is a comedy festival. Hell, they have a firework festival here, and there's so many more that go on here in Montreal and around that it's really kind of a cool thing to do. And probably whenever you come, if you're staying for a week or so, there'll be some sort of festival that will be showing up and going on, and you can go and enjoy it. So make sure you check some of those things out. And with that festivals, I want to say is this city is great for going out. There's tons of bars, tons of clubs, tons of nightlife, and this is kind of the nightlife hub of Canada. People come here for a good time for various reasons. Sometimes it's for the theater and the plays and the operas they have. Sometimes it's for the festivals. Sometimes for the bars and the clubs. And other times it's for things a little bit seedier and a little bit, you know, when you come by, you'll smell the difference sometimes. I'll just put it that way. But it is really cool to come and have a party here because they do know how to have a good time here. So the festivals and going out, definitely something you should do. And the 10th thing you should do is when you come to Montreal, you'll see like this hill or mountain, however you want to call it, next to the city. That's Montreal. You can go up there, you can go hiking there or sledding there or skating or bicycling there. There's a cross up there you can see, but what you really should see is the St. Joseph Oratory, this cool church that's up there, and take in the great view of Montreal from up there, because that's where the locals go. That's where a lot of people go and check out. And if you get tired of the hustle and bustle of this very cosmopolitan city with skyscrapers, with 3.5 million people, you go to Montreal and you get away from it all, and it really makes it kind of a cool experience that you can have the city next to wilderness, you know. And there's lots, and so those are my 10 things you should do first. But the thing is, there's a lot more stuff here, okay, to check out. There's a lot more museums you can go see. The architecture here, you've got the Golden Square Mile you can go see, museums, going on a boat trip through the river. And the thing is when you go there, you're going across into the islands, you know, Isle of St. Helens and these places, and that's where the casino is. That's where there's some beaches there that are clothing optional. Well, sometimes they're clothing optional. I prefer to keep your clothes on because you don't want to see me naked. Also, there's a music park there. There's all kinds of fun stuff to do there on those 2 little islands out in the river that we're checking out. All kinds of great stuff. So if you have more tips on what we should see and do in Montreal, please put it in the comments section below, because these 10 are just a good start. So if you want to learn more about Montreal or Canada, check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, and we appreciate your likes and subscriptions. And au revoir from Montreal.